Now, occasionally I get a comment like this, and I personally have an issue with this type of comment and this type of mentality because it really goes against the entire grain of everything that I'm trying to do and then trying to accomplish by exposing, the pitfalls and the horrors and the nightmare of alcohol use disorder to both the alcoholic and to the family members that surround the alcoholic and really to society and to the world, because ultimately it affects every one of us, either directly or indirectly. And the comment goes like this. Now, there's something not sitting right with how you speak about someone who is not here to defend themselves. And we're talking about my spouse, my wife, and this is the first time you're seeing me. She passed away from alcohol use disorder related injuries about 4.5 years ago. Essentially, every one of her organs began to fail. She was in ICU for 28 days, had 12 operations, heart, liver, kidneys, pancreas. She had Wernicke-Korsakoff, esophageal problems. Her stomach was removed. I mean, every issue physically and mentally and emotionally that you could think of after decades of alcohol abuse. And now I dissect that life and really go through it so that we can help other people and other families. Now, this whole mentality of that you shouldn't be speaking about people who are no longer here, they're not here to defend themselves. Well, correct, they're not here to defend themselves because they passed away, because they made very bad choices and got caught into a web of addiction and alcoholism. Granted, nobody wakes up one morning and says, I think I'm going to be an alcoholic today. That's not how it works. Nobody wants this disease. So it's important to discuss it and realize the origins of it so that we can help people and understand the red flags before it gets out of hand, before they get into the later stages where they become a gaslighting, denial, deflecting person, and there's not a whole lot you can do for somebody who can't admit that they have a problem. It's so important to talk about this, to discuss it, to dissect it, so it can help people who are in the earlier stages. Teenagers, 20-year-olds, or somebody who's had a specific issue that's situational. Maybe they got a divorce, somebody died in their life, they lost a job, and they're going through a period of a year or two where they're drinking, maybe when they're older, and being able to identify that, okay? It's so important to get help and to shout from the rooftops, the mountaintops, how this affects families and individuals. I can't think of a higher tribute to my wife, to dissect her life, to help other people. And quite frankly, her memoir, which will be out in a few weeks, will dissect it even further. A lot of people think it's just negative talk, and I talk about the situations, the DUIs or the driving into the house, and all the physical problems, the bodily fluids, and really the details that families go through on a regular basis when they're dealing with the alcoholic in their family. And some of it's gross, some of it's disgusting, and it's not particularly positive, but it's the reality that people go through. And unless you discuss this, it's going to continue. Okay, it's the 25-ton elephant in the room that needs to be discussed so that little elephant can turn into a mouse, because we're going to be looking at this disease differently, and rather than sweeping it under the rug like so many people have done for decades and centuries, it's time to bring it out of the closet. It's time to expose it for what it is. It's poison that people are taking that ruins their life. I mean, it's really that simple. Alcoholism is considered a class 1 carcinogen. Okay. Now, in moderation, like anything, non-drinkers or normie drinkers, that's a different story. We're talking about people who get caught into the web of alcohol use disorder, and it could be, it has nothing to do with the alcohol in reality. It has something much deeper going on with them emotionally, repressed emotions, trauma, hereditary issues, family culture, peer pressure, all kinds of different stresses and strains that can send somebody down the path of overdoing it and then getting caught into the web of this disease. Understanding that is absolutely vital to save families and lives. And again, I can't think of a better tribute to give someone than being the cause of helping other people. And again, I go live Monday through Friday, right around 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We also have the Facebook group. It's called There's an Alcoholic in the Family. You can click on the link in my link tree. It's easier than going to Facebook. And also, when you're ready to work with me one-on-one, click on the link, set up a breakthrough call. The call takes about 45 minutes to an hour. It's a complete coaching program for those families and individuals who are looking for much more one-on-one help, as I've helped thousands of people really all over the world beat this debilitating disease. And I'm looking for people who want to change their lives and the lives of their family. And again, thanks for listening.